EC3 and Dillinger for takeover. But here comes the champ, Shayna! Ace of Spades on the outside, choking at the champion. Could that be the outcome at Brooklyn? Lethal and The Miz are scrapping with one another, and they are fighting their way up the ramp. The match has ended, and all the way to Brooklyn if they want to. This will mean its end next weekend at Brooklyn. Hello and welcome to NXT. It is the final edition here in the Hammerstein Ballroom before we make our way into Brooklyn for, of course, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. It is going to be a big night then, and it is a frightening night for one of the challengers to the NXT title because the Machine is back in town. Brian Cage and The Miz to square off in tonight's main event. Is the A-lister ready for the wrath of the champion? An interesting tidbit there between champion and challenger days before their meeting out of Brooklyn. Oh! Mercedes Martinez out cold backstage. Don't know what to make of what we just witnessed there, but Martinez laid out on the outside. Whoa, that is a very interesting scenario for Martinez to find herself in. What does that mean for Baszler, who's in action later on this evening with her partner out cold backstage, and especially so close to takeover as well? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. What I do know right now is we are starting things off with a tag team matchup here. Kalisto and Ty Dillinger will team against the duo of Josh Woods and Kassius Ohno. Of course, we know Dillinger, as revealed last week by EC3, will be going to TakeOver Brooklyn to face EC3 one-on-one. Finally, the bad blood between those two men will be reconciled, and it will be settled once and for all. We hope that there is a well-endowed conclusion to all of that. We hope that there is the right conclusion to all of that between those two. Dillinger can get his revenge, but the problem is for Dillinger is how shaky he has looked heading into TakeOver. His loss last week to the New Foundation didn't help. His beatdown 2 weeks ago after beating Noam Dar by the skin of his teeth didn't help his case either. His loss to Elias. Dillinger has just been slumping heading into TakeOver, and all it's doing is proving that EC3's points, they're right. That Dillinger never really was fit enough for perfect. That he never really was ready to take on a moniker or mantra like the Perfect 10. And he needs to show at TakeOver that was all wrong. That everything that was said about him by EC3 was wrong, and the best way to do that, of course, is to get in the ring with him and shut him up. Matchup gets underway here between Kalisto and Kassius Ohno. Hammerstein Ballroom with a little bit of a lucha chant there. Kalisto's been getting win after win here. Interesting, of course, that he's teaming against the men who he's beaten back-to-back weeks. Kassius Ohno, it was 2 weeks ago, I believe. Josh Woods last week. Kalisto's been on a bit of a winning streak over these last few weeks, and it's really starting to shine for that man right there. Really making something of it. Same can't be said for his tag partner Grand Metalik, we haven't seen these last few weeks, but it can be said for Kalisto, who will try, of course, to keep that momentum rolling on and maybe see an opportunity for himself at something coming out of TakeOver. Look out now. Hard shots in the corner there by Ohno. Kalisto able to push the bigger man away. Comes in now. Tilt-a-will head says that takes him down. Of course, when TakeOver rolls around, it's not as if these guys have got a long journey to travel. It's about, I'd assume about half an hour maybe from the Hammerstein Ballroom to the Barclays Center. And it is where they go for TakeOver Brooklyn. Despite that being the case, it is still probably, I would still call it the biggest takeover of the year. Just feels that way to me. Anyway, we are underway right now with Tye Dillinger in the ring. Getting sent to the turnbuckle though by Ohno. Tags made. In comes Josh Woods here, who'll be looking to rebound, of course, from last week's loss to Kalisto. Nice double hip toss and a kip up from both men. Nice to see that being pulled off. Look out now. The aggression of Josh Woods shining through, getting in some hard shots there on Tye Dillinger. Like I said, Dillinger needs to prove himself in this contest. It is of such importance that he does so, or else he's going to wind up in a huge amount of trouble heading into TakeOver. Discus clothesline from Woods there, almost took off his head. Shaky indeed from Dillinger as Kalisto gets the tag in now. Clothesline now from Kalisto, here he goes. Drop kick there, knocking Woods off his feet. Kalisto fired up and ready to go right now. Clothesline knocks him down again. Kalisto to the top rope, looking to make the most of this opportunity for 15. Oh! Knees up in time there by Woods. And Woods in now with a Northern Lights suplex. Just the moment he gets a chance to showcase himself, the power being brought up by Josh Woods. Look at this now. Flurry of shots into a clothesline. And almost put it away there. Kalisto in a bit of trouble in that moment. Irish whip now. Hard knee in the gut there by Kalisto to Woods, looking to make the most of this opportunity in the turnbuckle. Kalisto tags Dillinger back in now. What will we see here? Irish whip from both men. Double arm drag. Kick in the chest, kick in the back as well. Good double teamwork there from Dillinger and Kalisto. Dillinger right now with the opportunity in the ring, has to make the most of it. Left-handed lariat there, stomped him right down in the gut. Dillinger continuing to work here right now. Woods in a spot of bother. He's starting to show issues for himself. He's starting to cause problems. In the turnbuckle we go now. Dillinger sending Woods into his own turnbuckle. Woods comes up with the counter there. And a necessary tag is made into Kassius Ohno. That was an important move there. And Ohno will fly! Ohno, who I always say is one of those guys who's got such a chance to break back into the main rosters here on NXT. He can absolutely make the most of it. Just needs that calling, essentially. He needs that opening. He needs to find it, and he'll pounce on it. In the turnbuckle we go now, with Dillinger in control. Face first into it goes Kassius Ohno now. Dillinger started off a little bit rocky, but he's showcasing his abilities now. Dragging Dillinger into the middle of the ring and up on his feet, looking for the tiebreaker. And he got it! Down on the knee goes Ohno. And that means there is only one move left to go. Hammerstein Ballroom chants 10 for the perfect 10. Cover is made by Dillinger on Ohno. It's over. Dillinger wins, heading into TakeOver, and another win for Kalisto as well on his way. Perhaps there's something big for his own hopes and opportunities. There is your winner though. Dillinger with a big win. And look who has an eye on it all as he awaits for Brooklyn. dust will be settled on that evening. And the dust will be settled right now between two women who arguably could have met for the #1 contendership for the NXT Women's Championship, if not for the actions of Shayna Baszler 1 week. Taking out this woman out of action, Candice LeRae was put on the shelf briefly, not cleared for in-ring competition, and now, just hours almost, in some ways, before TakeOver Brooklyn, we see this opportunity for Candice LeRae to go one-on-one against Shayna Baszler this evening and to make the most of her opportunity and to make the most of trying to knock off Baszler heading into her match with Io Shirai for the NXT Women's Championship. It was announced, 2 weeks ago now, I believe, that Shirai would defend the title against Baszler. And last week, of course, we saw the aggression of Shayna Baszler after her victory over Mayu Iwatani. Shirai tried to come to the rescue because Baszler was continuing to put the hurt on it. Shirai hit the ring, and on the outside, the Ace of Spades was locked in, and the Queen of Spades choked out Io Shirai. If she does that at Brooklyn, it's a new NXT Women's Champion. And honestly, heading into that venue, heading into that evening, I didn't think I'd be saying this at one point, but I am genuinely hard-pressed to find a reason to think that Shayna Baszler will not leave as the NXT Women's Champion. Mercedes Martinez was just found KO'd backstage before the first contest of this evening, but that doesn't change anything. Shayna Baszler is still as dangerous without her. And I don't know what the situation is surrounding Martinez. I don't even know who leveled Martinez. It wouldn't surprise me if it was Io Shirai. Maybe it was Candice LeRae, maybe as a measure of revenge. I don't know. What I do know is that these two women are ready to meet right now, and I gotta imagine Shirai is watching backstage somewhere as we gear up for TakeOver Brooklyn and another tough title contest for Io Shirai to find herself in. The bell rings are underway here. Candice LeRae has waited weeks to get her hands on Shayna Baszler, and the opportunity is now. Up and over the top rope already. Shayna Baszler in commanding control here. Look out, suplex right back into the ring. Goodness, it's LeRae hoped for this opportunity for a long time, and now she'll be wishing that she never got it, because here goes Shayna Baszler, aggressively beating down Candice LeRae. Saito suplex there. LeRae rolls out of the ring briefly. Shayna Baszler showcasing her confidence, and in comes LeRae, gets a body shot on the go now. Can Candice LeRae find some offense? Big weekend, of course, for LeRae's significant other in Johnny Gargano, as he will stand in the main event of SummerSlam against Seth Rollins for the ECW title, of course. But right now, Candice LeRae is focused on one thing and one thing alone, and that is trying to defeat Shayna Baszler here. Counter made there by Baszler, though. Look out. Into that turnbuckle with authority went Candice LeRae. Shayna Baszler still controlling this contest right now. All over LeRae. Up to her feet. Big forearm in the face. Almost took Candice off of it there. And the turnbuckle. Big knee. Was that in the jaw? The chest looks like it might have been the jaw. And now, shin breaker. The #1 contender is so dangerous in that ring. And she is showcasing it every single time she hits a damn move. LeRae has had windows of opportunity. Shayna Baszler's window is wide open. And she is taking every opportunity and pummeling Candice LeRae with it. This does not spell good fortune for the challenger, for the champion heading into Brooklyn. Because if anything, Shirai's going to be watching this and thinking, I'm in for pain. I'm going to get hurt at TakeOver. LeRae trying to fight here, trying to help out her ally, trying to maybe derail the confidence, maybe try and pick up a shock upset win over Shayna Baszler. Here, code red from LeRae. And maybe an opening for her as well. Front face up now into a jawbreaker, and it takes her off her feet. Candice LeRae now Looking to take Baszler off her feet in a different manner. She'll go to the top rope. She will go high risk. Will it pay off? Baszler slow to her feet. Steering here. LeRae will fly. Misses with that drop kick. Baszler was playing possum. From behind. German suplex. LeRae took the risk, but there was nothing wrong with Baszler. She was just lying in wait, looking to pounce. Look out now. Suplex back in the ring by Baszler. What more can the number one contender do here to prove her point heading into Brooklyn? Because my goodness, is Candice LeRae getting beaten down right now? This crowd is just kind of watching on, and it's just soaking in the brutality of Shayna Baszler, because that's all we're showcasing here, is just how brutal Shayna Baszler can be in this ring, how much she can just dismantle an opponent in the blink of an eye. Look out now. Just a simple arm drag, hip toss, whatever the case it may be. And you can just see how much damage it's all doing on Candice LeRae, how much of an effect it's having on it each and every time. Shayna Baszler now to the top rope. And there's a part of me that hopes that she'll be merciful and put it away right now with this. She's in! Superplex from Baszler! She won't even look for the cover. Surely that is enough to finish off Candice LeRae. Maybe not. LeRae up to her feet and fighting on here. Wheelbarrow stunner from LeRae! Is she real? After all the punishment she's taken, is she really going to find a second win here? She's in! Clotheslines! Drop kick! Look out! Oh, the knee in the face! That single knee in the face from LeRae! She could be on her way to an upset! Baszler rolls out of the ring! LeRae now, is she going to fly? Drop kick to the outside, my goodness! Candice LeRae took an almighty risk, and it paid off. Back in the ring now. And back to the top rope. She'll fly again. Baszler moves out of the way. And Baszler comes in with a huge knee, rocking Candice LeRae. And she showed signs there of life for a brief moment, but it was also quickly taken away from her. And now Shayna Baszler will look to put a seal on this contest. Back-to-back gut-wrench suplexes connect. Shayna Baszler has to have put the dotted line on this, but wait a minute, Shirai! Shirai coming out of the ramp, and Baszler jetting it out of the ring. And the fight is on! Baszler, Shirai, swinging at one another. Or rather, should I say, Baszler swinging at Shirai right now. Shirai made her way out. And now, she's just becoming a whipping puppet of the Queen of Spades. The referee's count continuing on. He's not going to call for a DQ here. He's going to let the count roll on. Count up to 6 as Shirai hits a hurricanrana on Baszler. What is going to happen here between these two women? I think they've abandoned any semblance of the count. Shirai and Baszler are just going to continue to fight on right now. LeRae has only just got up to her feet in the ring. Shirai with the upper hand in this brawl right now. Wait a minute, the ref's going to call it. There it is. He called 10. LeRae may be none the wiser as to how she got the win, but she got it. And as the fight continues to break out on the ramp, Candice LeRae claims victory over Shayna Baszler. But as I look up to the ramp, it is Baszler who has claimed the main victory over Shirai. And here they are, ladies and gentlemen, the arrival of the NXT Tag Team Champions, just ahead of their tag team title match at Brooklyn against LIJ. Lambda, Tony Nese, the new foundation, coming towards the ring with Bret the Hitman Hart in tow. Let's see what will happen for the new foundation here as they gear themselves up for this contest against Evil and Sonata. Brooklyn Evil and Sonata, of course, winning the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. This is quite literally a tune-up match. It is the two resident jobbers of NXT, basically. I think the job for the new foundation is to continue on their winning streak that they have amassed from last week, really. Haven't lost in a long time in tag team offense, but then again, they only wrestled their first tag team match last week for the first time since TakeOver Chicago, when they surprisingly defeated the Broken Brilliance to claim the NXT tag team titles. Nice will start here against Heath Slater. Evil and Sonata waiting to make their NXT debut at Brooklyn. Of course, we'll be waiting to try and capture those tag team titles as well. Certainly a lot of public support for LIJ has been expressed as we head into that pay-per-view. But can they capitalize on that support? Can they use it to guide them to the tag team titles and dethrone the new foundation from the top spot of the tag team division? Noam Dar now in the ring here. What will happen from the Scottish Supernova? Oh, rake in the eyes there of Slater. All aggression from the very start here being showcased from Noam Dar, and there's no surprise in that. They want to get their point across as soon as possible. They want to showcase just how dominant they can be heading into Brooklyn for Evil and Sonata to get an eye up. Look out. Oh! Davari and Slater going into one another there. And now, powerbomb, got him, stacks him. That could end it right then and there. Cover made. Kick out at 2 from Davari. And how much longer is he going to be able to fight Dom in this contest? I wonder, huge lariat there. Jesus. Almost taking his head off. And with that uppercut as well. This is all Noam Dar right now. And I think it's because he has a bit of a point to prove heading into TakeOver. There's always been that talk about how it's Nice who carries the team more than Dar. And it's Dar's job to show that he can carry his own weight as well. Coming in with that knee there. No surprise, this has been all about the tag team champions. Look out here. Davari getting in some forearms, trying to open up an opportunity. Not happening. Counter made. Forearm in the face now from Noam Dar. Drop kicks the leg. Oh, I think that was right in the knee as well. You can almost hear the thud as that Scottish sickle connects from Noam Dar. And one move to put it all away. The Enziguri got him. Could this be the fate of Evil and Sonata at Brooklyn? Cover made. The new foundation win it. Dar and Nice. With Dar, most importantly, looking as dominant as ever, heading into their first title defense. Will it be their only one, though? Will they be dethroned from the top spot of the NXT Tag Team title division? Can Evil and Sonata pull off a huge win? Cement their legacy as Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic winners? We will find out at Brooklyn. But as for right now, the champions as cool, as calm, and as collected as ever. Bret Hart there with a bold warning for the challengers, saying that they will not be leaving with those titles out of Brooklyn. Bold words from Bret Hart there. Can his duo live up to them in the Barclays Center? Well, this should be a good one. Last week, these two guys were tag team partners. Tonight, they are opponents. Jeff Cobb, Jay Lethal, one-on-one. All three of the participants in the triple threat contest for the NXT Championship at TakeOver Brooklyn are in action here this evening. And even though The Miz may well have the hardest match, Jay Lethal, you know, if The Miz has the hardest match and Brian Cage has the easiest match, I guess Jay Lethal sits in the middle because Jeff Cobb, of course, has already gone in that ring with the NXT champion. Sat in the ring with him, he stood in the ring with him, fought in the ring with him, he bled in the ring with him in the attempts to become the NXT champion at TakeOver Chicago. Of course, things didn't quite pan out the way that Jeff Cobb wanted it to, but it could pan out for this man at TakeOver. He was in the match in the first place. He's taken out of it by some underhanded tactics from The Miz, but now he finds himself back in that triple threat contest and with the opportunity of being the one to dethrone Brian Cage, perhaps even being the one to hand Brian Cage his first ever loss, pinfall or submission in this universe. But before he can get to any of that, he has to get through Jeff Cobb this evening. He knows how brutal Jeff Cobb can be. He was teaming with him last week. Now here tonight, he's got to try and put the hurt on him, really. Try and cause some issues for him. Try and get himself some much needed momentum heading into that event. I mean, the reality is for Lethal is that out of the two challenges, I would say he's the one with the biggest chance of dethroning Brian Cage. That doesn't mean he will dethrone Brian Cage, it just means he has the best chance. And so it's paramount for Lethal to head in with a huge head of steam, really. To head in with a big momentum boost on his shoulders, to head in with good, feeling like he's on top of his game. And in order to pull that off, he's going to have to beat Jeff Cobb here tonight. Imagine beating a guy who took Brian Cage to the limit at TakeOver Chicago. That'd be a big win for Lethal. But whether or not he's going to pull it off, we'll find out in this contest right now. They may, like I said, they may have been tag team partners last week, but you can guarantee that's all out of the window as this contest gets underway here this evening. Big drop kick in the corner early on from Lethal. Can't even get a one count on it or one Cobb. See what will happen as this matchup continues on right now. These two guys just going to swing away at one another. It's going to be a hard match for Lethal to endure this close to TakeOver. It's not going to be one that he's going to be wanting, but it's a good match to really get his blood boiling and get his mindset ready for that huge venue, that huge event, and that huge opportunity put in front of him. Larry there from Cobb, who may well be looking to line himself up for another shot at that title. He wins here tonight over Lethal. Lethal goes on to win at TakeOver. I would say that would make Jeff Cobb next in line for the NXT Championship. Depending on, of course, what happens to the Machine. Cover mate here. Still thinking about the tag team match a moment ago. Only a one count, though. Kick in the back. Lethal shrugs it off. Huge forearm shots now from Lethal. Connecting away on Jeff Cobb in the corner. Looks for the dropkick again. This time Cobb moves out of the way. Pop up, Samoan drop there. The power of Cobb being showcased. And again, in trouble. Lethal down on the knees. If I was Lethal, I'd be looking to try and really, it's not going to be a quick fix to try and put away Jeff Cobb. It's not something that you can just, really do. You have to fight. You have to earn your way to victory over Cobb. So if I was Lethal, my main job really would be trying to evade the hard shots of Cobb, trying to evade these huge power bombs, these back suplexes, the Samoan drops. Really just trying to limit Cobb and his offense. But of course, while trying not to strain too much, trying not to push too hard and potentially pick up a minor injury, strain a muscle, sprain an ankle, anything like that. And he'll find himself at an immense disadvantage heading into TakeOver Brooklyn. And you're already at a disadvantage when you're in the ring with Brian Cage. To his feet now, Cobb. Swinging, slamming Lethal down into the mat as well. I wonder if Miz and Cage are watching this contest on right now, of course, as they prepare for their main event. Or rather, I imagine The Miz is preparing with everything he could come up with under the sun. Cage, on the other hand, who knows? Oh my goodness, look at this from Cobb, Jesus! Thought he was going to throw him out of the ring. Such a dangerous throw there. Covers made to put him away. Kick out at 2. So far, so good for Jeff Cobb, which doesn't mean good things for the challenger. Lethal needs a big win. Drives him face first into the mat. Could that do it for Lethal right now? There's 2. And oh, there's a kick out at 2.5. Lethal wanted to secure things right then and there. Put things away. Up to the second rope now goes Lethal. Looking to fly. Big elbow drop. Cobb, though, not home. Oh, good God. Here we go. Look at the strength of Cobb. Gorilla press slam. Gachimuchi moonsault! Could that finish off Lethal here? Dead center. Middle of the ring. 2 count. Of course, it was Cobb who picked up that pinfall victory in the tag match last week over Mike Candice, while Lethal and The Miz started squaring off outside of the ring with one another. Just started throwing bombs at each other, really. And Lethal from the top rope with a bomb of a double axe handle there, down on Jeff Cobb. Off the ropes, elbow drop on him as well. Former Olympian, of course, he has a tattoo to remember it. The nation he represented as well in Guam. Single leg Boston Crab applied, but thrown away there is Jay Lethal. Oh, this is looking dangerous now for Jay Lethal indeed. This is not somewhere where he wants to be. Not at all. Cobb looking to hit big. Power bomb maybe. No. Lethal fighting his way out of it. Just. That was dangerous. Back in the ring we go now. Lethal having a breathing room of control there. Big job countering that power bomb on the outside. Who would have known what Cobb would have looked for? The apron, the floor, the ring pole, the barricade, anything was there for him to take advantage of. Misses with the headbutt there. Cobb in from behind. Oh my goodness, what strength. Simply put, what strength from Jeff Cobb right then and there. Up to his feet and launched back in the ring. With that belly to belly, Cobb could be looking to beat one of the contenders for the title. Tour of the Islands, no. Lethal in, figure four, he's got it locked in. Oh, but good work there from Cobb. He stretched his arms backwards to make the ropes and make sure that he could live to fight another day in this contest. Big lariat from Cobb. Lethal to the outside now. Just because you're out of the ring doesn't mean you're safe. Cobb, my goodness! Splashing down on Lethal, but at what cost? An immense, painful landing for Cobb and Lethal right then and there, but it's Cobb who has control. He's on the top rope, calling Lethal to his feet. Elbow drop on the back of the head there. And you'll go up high once again. Watch what this man can pull off. Shooting star, no! How much damage does that do to the knees of Lethal, though? To have a man of Cobb's stature coming down on them. Clearly not all that much. Lethal with a hard knee. Shooting star presses missed. Cobb is in huge trouble now. Lethal injection. Cover is made. Jay Lethal with a big win, heading to TakeOver. At least one of the challengers will be victorious tonight, and that is Jay Lethal. Will that guide him on his way to the NXT Championship? Can Jay Lethal be the one to dethrone that man from the top pedestal of NXT. Time will only tell in that case. But Lethal has fired up and is ready forever as we head into Brooklyn. And coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to see him in action. For the first time since his suspension, the Machine is back. The A-lister in deep trouble. The Miz, Brian Cage. This ain't gonna be pretty. And nor do I think it's gonna be all that long. This is going to prove my point about why you need more than one person to dethrone Brian Cage, and why even with two people in the ring at TakeOver, The Miz not really going to be that second person that you want. Here comes The Miz, his wife Maryse here this evening as well. And I think she is about to have a ringside seat to her husband being thrown around the ring by a machine that has had weeks of rest, weeks of recovery, and weeks of training. We may well see the most vicious Brian Cage that we have since his arrival to NXT, maybe, and since his capturing of that NXT title. Remember, he was tested by Cobb. For the first time, he seemed in a state of bother, really. He seemed like he could have been beaten. You only got that in a brief glimpse against Tyler Bate at TakeOver New Orleans, but against Jeff Cobb, it felt like Cobb had far more than one opportunity to finish him off. And of course, it was Brian Cage's resiliency alone in his fight that kept him in that one. But now that he's had these weeks off from being suspended, and imagine all it's done as well is rile up this man. The Miz can look as confident and express as much arrogance as he wants, but that may not be the wisest decision when this man is about to stand on the other side of the ring from you. He's back. The champ is back. Brian Cage back on NXT. Logan Wayne making a decision that Cage will not wait until TakeOver to be reinstated. Instead, reinstated just before that event for The Miz to receive the torment. A brief glimpse of the torment, I imagine, of what he will at TakeOver Brooklyn. Like I said, folks, this isn't going to be pretty for The Miz, but nor do I think will this torment be going on that long. I think Brian Cage is just going to ragdoll The Miz around the arena and potentially be out of here in, I'd say, less than 5 minutes. Which isn't something that should be said about a number one contender like The Miz, but it's the truth. Brian Cage is the machine of NXT. He is the cog that is running NXT right now. And he shows no sign of letting up at Brooklyn. He shows no sign of letting go of that NXT title. I mean, saying that as well, I really don't think that anyone will. This is Brian Cage's NXT, and he has no intent to let go of it any time soon. And it's time for The Miz to learn that right about now. It is our main event of the evening, and this crowd is riled up and ready to see the machine in action once again. Here we go. Bell rings, and The Miz jets it for outside of the ring. To the surprise of no one, he'll go outside of the ring and just trying to... I think he's trying to find a room to sneak up on Cage maybe and try and get a cheap shot on him, but Cage is walking the same path that The Miz is. Everywhere Miz goes, Cage is going as well. He's not going to let him try and sneak up on him. Count's already up to 5. Hell, if I was The Miz, I'd take the countdown loss. I'd just start running to Brooklyn, but that's not the case. He comes into the ring, and Cage is there right away. Oh, here we go. Let the torment begin. The Miz is about to be ragdolled. Oh my God. Didn't even break a sweat pulling that one off. Maryse forced to watch on, and Cage watching on. And Maryse watching on as he hits that deadlift. Vertical suplex there. Animated by the Miz. Look out now. Miz starting to get in some shots here. Cage in a bit of trouble. Ah, never mind. Oh my God. Look at the agility of this man. He really is a freak in his own right. 619 from Cage. To the top rope he'll go now. Diving headbutt down on the Miz. How do you take the title away from this man? Really? Really? Just look at everything that he does in this ring. Lethal is a fantastic competitor. The Miz is the Miz. But ask yourself, how are they going to dethrone this man? Maybe when I said you need more than one guy, maybe I should have been more apparent about who that guy is. Tomohiro Ishii, Jeff Cobb, Lethal. You may have enough. You may have enough people. And the right people as well to take that title away. Miz, yeah, he's not that person. And he is demonstrating it right now. Jesus Christ, this is all Jeff Cobb. Sorry, Brian Cage. Maryse trying to distract Cage there to give an opening for her husband. But the machine, I don't think it's going to make all that much of a difference. Miz comes in here. Tilt-a-whirl neckbreaker maybe. Nope. Cage just pushes him away. Northern Light suplex. Probably could have done that with 2 fingers. Up to his feet now. What are we going to see here? Look at the strength. Witness the strength of Cage from that Irish whip. Discus clothesline. Folds Miz inside and out. I said this was going to take less than 5 minutes. It's going to take much less than 5 minutes. It's already over. Drill claw connects. Cover is made. There's the count. There's the win. Over. Like that. Brian Cage wins it. It's over and done here for it. But here comes Lethal. Here comes Lethal. Lethal charging the ring. Charging after Cage. Lethal looking to get a one-up here on the champ. Heading into Brooklyn. Oh, he misses from the top. Misses from the top, and Cage makes him pay. Up to his feet. One receipt for you as well. Drill claw to Lethal. Both challengers feeling the same wrath as one another. There is the NXT champion, and he dares someone to stop him at Brooklyn. Brian Cage rules NXT, and if anyone can try stop him, I dare you to. But for the Miz and Jay Lethal, it is an uphill battle, and we haven't even arrived at TakeOver yet. Brian Cage stands tall. We will see you for TakeOver Brooklyn.